You can never forget who you truly are. You can't turn your back on yourself. So I'm gonna give a sports analogy, and it's not gonna make sense until the end of the video once you listen to everything. So just stay with me as I give these analogies. So since the beginning, I've always been a soccer player, right? And through track, I've done track, and through different sports that I've played, I've kind of accumulated different things, and it's changed the type of player that I've become in whatever sport that I'm playing. So for example, I started playing soccer, and we would always, all of the soccer players, the good players, we'd always wear these socks. They're called grip socks, and they have like rubber. They're like trampoline socks. They have like rubber pellets on the sole, and then they have a dot design on the back of the sock. So I started wrestling, and I'd put on the grip socks when I put on the wrestling shoes. So that was like the first thing of like, no, because no one else would do that. Obviously, no one else is wearing grip socks. It's a soccer thing. So that's one thing. Like any sport that I'm playing, I'm always wearing grip socks because that's like part of who I'm not. And that's also something that I wanted to do because I don't want to wear the wrestling socks or what everyone else was wearing. I wanted to stay true to where I came from and true to who I was. And part of doing that was like wearing the grip socks. So that's one thing. Anything that I do, I'm wearing grip socks when I do that. And when I would play, I'd always wear like Nike men's Nike, like the men's Nike Pro, like as underwear, and it's like spandex material. So then when I went to do track, I wore like this type of like spandex to, because obviously track you only wear the spandex and then your running shirt. So I wore this kind of like soccer spandex, and then I ended up getting one for track. But it was similar to, I remember wearing it for soccer. So the one that I got, I was like, I would also like to wear this as a substitute for underwear playing soccer. So it's like, got that spandex from track. So it's like kind of accumulating things. Okay, this from track, and now I'm bringing it back to soccer, and kind of vice versa. So that was one thing. And then also now I'm playing football. So just combining, who I am. I'm a wrestler, I'm a track athlete, but primarily I'm a soccer player. So like I have my grip socks, I'm wearing the soccer cleats, I'm wearing the scrunch socks, the like literally like the soccer socks. I'm wearing them on the football field with the scrunch socks, coming up high to mid sock, because obviously you can't do high sock above the knees when you have the knee pads in, because these refs, they make you actually wear the knee pads on to below the knee. You have to do that or you get a flag. I don't know what is it with all these rules that they have at these small schools. But I was just combining everything, taking everything. And even the sleeve that I wear for football, it was a partnership between the Ronaldo Portugal jersey and Puma. It was like a partnership thing. So it's like it looks dope for football, but it's actually a soccer sleeve. So that's one thing as well. And now I'm wearing this because the football guys told me to get this do-rag because you have long hair, it gets in the eyes. But I always wore a headband, so I cut it, but it was falling off with the helmet, so it's like, get a do-rag, bro. So I ended up doing that. But just like kind of combining everything, doing everything, mixing it all up, staying true to who you are. But you don't have to stay the same. Part of staying true to who you are does not mean that you just have to stay the same, right? Like I could still be wearing the headband in my helmet, but it's like the headband moves around a lot, so it's just like it's better for me to just wear the do-rags. So it's staying true to who I am, but also being open to new things, being open to new ideas, and evolving as I go. Like when I play soccer, I'm not gonna play with a do-rag on like this, but just staying true to who you are. But staying true to who you are does not mean that you have to stay the same. You're still picking up new things and taking up new information. Everything that's coming at you, you're taking it and you're allowing that to help you evolve as a person and continue to grow. Because you stay the same and you're fixated on, okay, this is who I am. Yeah. Okay, do this. And you're not gonna take any information, any new data sets. You're not gonna allow yourself to grow because you're like, stay true to who I am. You can't do that. So on the flip side, if you take what I'm saying to a farther extent than what I have intended it, that's going to hinder your growth. It's going to hinder your ability to perform well. Staying true to who you are also, that was a sports analogy, but we have to talk about just in life when you're thrown. I feel like when you're thrown into new environments, it's easy to change up and not stay true to who you are. You know, often people, they go off to college and then they fall away from God. And then usually as people tend to get older, they get a lot older. Old people. You see a lot of old people in church, but not a lot of young adults in church. So as people get older, they tend to turn back to God. But let's say you go into a new environment, and staying true to your faith is something that can be very, very difficult to do. So I think that staying true to yourself, staying true to your roots, staying true to your faith, despite things that are thrown at you, and being put in new environments, I think it's important to stay true to who you are, and just represent that. It's never a bad thing to represent, who you are, your culture, and just wearing what you want, speaking how you want, walking how you want, doing, just doing what you want to do, and not focusing on what other people have to say about it, and just not caring about what other people have to say about it. Because if you dress a certain way and you feel that that's a good expression of yourself, and people make fun of you, supposed friends that are making fun of you for the way that you dress, I would argue that that's not that friend. It's not really a friend if they're not supportive of who you actually are. They make fun of the way that you're dressing and things like that, but you're just being yourself. And sometimes people don't like it when you don't conform to the normalities and the averageness that we live in, and when you decide to be yourself and break away from the flock of cattle and sheep that most people are, you will get pointed out and made fun of by friends. So just staying true to yourself and being who you are without worrying what other people have to say about it, and just going through, because you only live once, and at the end of the day we all are going to die. So I mean, that's something I've been thinking about more than I ever have before, is just that I'm gonna die one day. As soon as we're born, the only thing that's guaranteed is death. And I think that a lot of the things that I have been going through in my own personal life have been reminding me that I can die. As much as powerful as I am, and despite myself being unkillable, I can still die. And that some of you guys won't understand that, but I am unkillable. I can't be killed, but God is more powerful than me. So just understand. I think that sometimes, staying true to yourself is understanding your place and your role. Like the dishwasher next to me just turned on. That scared me, bro. It made a noise, like I thought something happened. But man, now I lost my train of thought. I feel like that's a distraction. So now I have to pause and think about what I'm gonna say, because now I know that it's something important, because there was a distraction. Bro, what was I gonna say? I lost it, guys. Part of staying true to who you are is understanding your role in this life. So part of staying true to yourself is understanding that God is above you. Because I think that sometimes we don't like the idea that God is more stronger than us. Sometimes we want to be our own God, but part of being a Christian is being a slave to God. God is our master, and we're slaves to God. So understanding that the relationship of a slave to a master is that a slave is nothing compared to an omnipotent, omnipresent, all-powerful God. That we're nothing in comparison. So, like I was saying, even though I'm unkillable, God has the ability to do whatever he wants with my life. So, understanding that, and just being like at some extent being humble. And just staying true to yourself is understanding who you are by way of you are not God. That is one thing. Like you are not God. You are not on the same level as God. Stop trying to chase a level of stop chasing things that don't lead you to God. That lead you to sources of power that are not from God. Obviously, stay away from that type of stuff. But more importantly, just being humble and accepting what God's role, what God has a role. God has put you on this earth for a purpose, and you have a very specific role that you have to play in this life that God has intended for you. So part of staying true to yourself is living in submission to God by way of actually doing what is God's purpose for you in this life while you are on earth. So doing God's purpose that he has for you as like your main source of, this is what I'm waking up to pursue every single day, and doing that because it's what God has chosen for you to do, what God has chosen for you, and making that your purpose of waking up and chasing and doing that every single day. Part of that is staying true to yourself. I normally don't do edits, but it was a very good idea, and these last 2 minutes are very key. So